Hi guys, thanks for coming back to my channel. Oh my god, we're off to a fabulous start. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm excited because I am doing a foundation test. I watched Tati's video recently where she tried, well, she didn't try it. I think she'd already used it and liked it and was just sharing the RCMA foundation. And so I placed an order for 4 samples because I really wasn't sure what I was going to need as far as a shade. Picking a color online from a brand that you know nothing about, where the swatches are non-existent, so on and so forth, is kind of a challenge. So anyway, I got 4 little samples, and these are kind of expensive. I did a little kind of a test run yesterday where I swatched them on my jaw to see which one I think I am going to use. So I think I'm going to use N210, which is neutral, and then I also got pink, or P210, which I think is a pink undertone or possibly peach. I'm not sure about that. And G210, which is the one with golden undertones. And then I also picked up N230. Now I do know that this one is too dark for me right now, so I'm definitely not going to use that. But honestly, you know, I could probably get away with all of these, at least at some point. Probably the 230 one would be more of a, you know, like a summer color. It's not quite that dark, but I won't be using that today. But I am going to swatch all 4 of them on my jawline so that you can see what the colors are. So we're going to start with 230, which is the darkest one, and this is N230. So you can see that that's a little too dark. And then we're going to go with P210. Nice. I like P210, and if I was going to purchase one, it would probably be N210 or P210. This is G210. So this one definitely has that olive undertone, which sometimes I really like, depending on the olive undertone, for like counteracting any redness or pinkness in my skin. I have a lot of pink on my chest, and I do get some redness on my face. Not a ton, but sometimes I do like to counteract that. But this is N210, and I think, honestly, you know, looking here, I feel like the P210 is a better shade match. Should I go with that one? Maybe I'll go with that one. Yeah, let's go with that one today. If I, you know, use these other ones like later on in the week or something, and I find that I like them better, then I will absolutely let you know, in the description box or a pin comment or something like that. Okay, so quickly I'm going to just wipe that off because I don't really have anything on my face, and I need to moisturize and add some sunscreen, although there's 0 chance of sun today here in Seattle because that's just how we roll around here. I think I'm going to prep my skin with some Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream. This is supposed to be a quite full coverage foundation, which normally is not my thing. I just don't tend to like the way most full coverage foundations look on my skin. They tend to look heavy. Well, honestly, they look heavy on anybody, but you know how they sit in your lines when you're a little bit more mature, or sit around like the folds of your nose, or the creases around your mouth, those kinds of things. That for me, the creases in my forehead are always a big, you know, trouble spot for me. Usually I just go in with less product, and a lot of times I will powder there a little bit just to keep creasing and stuff at a minimum. But in an ideal world, a foundation should set down. Once you get past that sort of initial emollient uh, wet stage, then I feel like they should stay where you put them. That's just, like I say, my ideal world in the utopian universe where all makeup products are perfect for me. That's what I would want. I tend to like a satin finish or a satin matte finish. I don't like anything that's flat matte, too powdery, or anything that's too greasy looking or dewy looking, because I just feel like at my age, when you can go right down the middle, right down the center, that's probably the place that you need to be. I have normal skin. I don't have a ton of dryness or anything like that, but I do get dry, especially in the winter, which is kind of incredible to me because it's so rainy here in Seattle, and that's probably the only reason that I don't look like, a reptile or whatever, in the winter, especially because if it were a dry environment, we would probably be talking about different stuff. But anyway, for me, I am basically normal. Normally, also, I do my eyes first, but today I am probably going to do pretty minimal eyeshadow and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and do my face. I'm putting on my sunscreen. This is the Josie Maran Argan Oil sunscreen. This, I think, is considered like a professional brand, or one that they use in television, movies, things like that. I could be completely wrong. I'm also not sure what kind of skin type Tati is. I think she's combo. Don't quote me on that. Anytime you see an influencer and they're like, this is, fabulous or whatever, almost always I find that I have to try something for myself. That's just how it is. Everybody's skin is a little bit different. Everybody's, a different age and just at a different place in their skincare journey and so on. So, we will see. We will see what this is all about. I'm going to let this soak in for a few minutes, go make another coffee, and I will be right back. I think I'm just going to jump in. I've got my IT Cosmetics Love is the foundation brush and damp sponge. This one happens to be from Eco Tools. And I think I'm just going to dot this all over my face. Well, maybe not all over, because I'm not sure how this dries down. Maybe we'll start small. So we'll go ahead and dot some of this on my face. All right, so we'll start there. I have no idea like how big a normal pump is, or even if it comes in a pump, or if it also comes in a doe foot applicator like this one. I think it's a pump if I remember from Tati's video. We're gonna start with this amount and see what we get. She was sort of bragging about how effortless the blending was and stuff. I am not having any issues. So you can see pretty much how one side looks with and one side without. That wasn't, I don't think, like full coverage. Let's go ahead and do the other side and see what happens. And then I think, just for the sake of argument, even though I'm not really a full coverage person, I think I will probably go in with a second layer. So I think it'll be good to kind of keep the layers relatively light and thin. I am wondering how many applications I will get out of this little tiny sample, which is 1 milliliter, I believe, and I think this was $4.95, possibly $4.99. It did get here in a very timely manner, came UPS, so I appreciate that, because I ordered it, I think, the day after Thanksgiving, or maybe the day before, or maybe the day of. Honestly, I don't really remember. Normally I don't put foundation over my eyelids, just because I always put a primer on, but we'll do it today because I know lots of people do that. So definitely not full coverage. I do see a little bit of a glow. I don't know if that is something that will dry down, but I'm going to go ahead and add a second layer and see if I can build this up. I have a few little breakouts going on. I don't know what that's about because I am not somebody that is subject to breakouts, but maybe just the stress of the holidays. So it doesn't seem to be drying down too terribly fast, so that's why I'm putting it all over this time. And I am stippling, I am not buffing or like swiping or anything for the most part. Some places you kind of have to do that because of the shape of the the facial feature. I will get to wear this all day, and I will be going out like I mentioned, and so I will be wearing a mask for at least part of the time. For this being a peach or a pink tone, I do feel like it is, you know, on the yellow side. So that's the only thing that gives me pause. I will probably wear the neutral color on, not tomorrow, but the next day. So I can let you know in the description box which color ended up being a little better for me, if either one. But you know, this is fine. I mean, I'm not like mad about it or anything like that as far as the shade goes. Okay, let's see. Let me have a peek here. So I'm still seeing, like I have some redness right here that it is, I don't know if it's not sticking to it or, and I never prime. I never do. I should probably, but I don't. If you do, then please continue to do so. I just never friggin' think of it. That's my problem. So not a bad finish. It is immediately settling into my forehead lines. Can you see that? I think you can. So Botox would help with that, but since I don't have any right now, we have to take other measures. So I'm just going to lift up some of the product from my problem areas. But I am taking my time and really pressing this into my skin and making sure that it sets down somewhat. Finish wise, I like the finish of this. I think it's got a tiny bit of glow, but it's not gross and shiny or anything like that. I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of my makeup. I'll come back and tell you if I ran into any, you know, any issues or anything like that, like blending stuff over it or it moving around. So I'm going to go ahead and let this set down for a few minutes just because that seems like the best way to allow a foundation to sort of dry down, see if it darkens or how much it darkens or any of that kind of thing. Because foundations often will change color a little bit as they dry down. So I will let you know all those details once I get the rest of my makeup on, and if for some reason I forget something, I will put more information down in the description box like I always do. Lately I haven't been like linking all the products and stuff that I use because, you know, honestly a lot of times it's the same stuff that I've been using for months and months, and if there's something that's like new and different, then usually that's what the video is about. And so I always link that stuff so that you can find it easily. All right, guys, I'm going to finish up and I will be right back. I'm going to start out by saying that I don't love this, at least not right now. I don't hate it, but it's not like I want to go to the website and buy the full-size bottle quite yet. Maybe it's the color. It could be the color. But I feel like it's heavy looking but it's not covering everything. And if something's going to look a little on the heavy side, I want that shit to cover everything up. And this is definitely not doing that. It's looking heavy here and here. It's still kind of settling in my forehead lines. I did powder a little bit, not a ton, because I don't like a lot of powder, but I feel like it is still settling in those lines, and I don't like that. I feel like, you know, we can do amazing things. We can make a foundation that doesn't immediately seek out the lowest level of your skin like water does. As a consequence, anything that I put over it, like my bronzer and stuff, that also tended to want to just sort of follow along with the foundation. Like I say, don't hate it. It looks pretty good on my nose, oddly enough. But I'm gonna leave it. I'm not gonna say too much more. I don't think. I will come back later after I've had this on for a while to let you know how it's wearing. And like I said before, I should be able to do a full day wear test, and so I will either come back and tell you what I think kind of at the end of the day, or put something in the description box depending on what I remember to do. For all the positive things that Tati said about it, I guess I expected a little bit more. I also expected a little bit more from a professional brand. I'm not really getting that vibe. I'm glad I got the samples to check color and stuff. I will put the full size price and how many milliliters that is, but I'm guessing it's 40 or 50, which is pretty typical, and the price, because I honestly I can't remember what it was. But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it there for now, and just sort of, you know, let it sit on my face, let it kind of warm up to my face, and work with the moisturizer I have on and the powders I put on, and so on and so forth, and kind of see how the day goes and see how it wears. But right now, you know, I'm on the fence. I'm on the proverbial fence. I haven't decided yet. I may not even decide by the end of the night. If it looks amazing, and some foundations do, they look better over the course of the day. And if this is one of those, then, you know, I'll think about it. I'll think about it. But at any rate, I'm going to let you go for now, and I will come back later and do a little check-in. So I've had this on for about 8 hours, and you know, my opinion pretty much still stands from this morning when I put this on. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. I don't plan to go out right away, at least, and buy like a full-size bottle of this foundation. This is not, at least not the way that I put it on, full coverage. So you can see my little friend here peeking through. I have this little friend here. I don't know why I have like suddenly 3 new friends, but kind of peeking through. It's not sat the best like in my nose folds right in here. This area is not too bad. It's not great. It would definitely be something that I would tap out or blot out with some powder or something, I think. My forehead lines and stuff, they still look fine. They didn't, you know, it didn't go any further into my lines, so that I definitely appreciate. But as far as, oh, and then I had like this little, I wore my glasses, of course, today when I was out driving around, and a mask, and I definitely feel like I can see the line where my mask was on my cheeks. My glasses kind of wore it off on the sides. Not too bad, but I'm a little dry right here, and it's kind of gathered there. Those aren't total deal breakers on their own, but when you have several of those little things that come up when you're trying a new foundation, it doesn't make me want to run out and purchase this. I'll just say that. Now, your mileage may vary. It may vary a lot depending on your skin type, your age, possibly your race, your skin color. Maybe the darker ones sit better on the skin. honestly, I have no idea, and I, of course, don't have any way to test that. What would I give this on a scale of 1 to 10? I'm going to say right now, the way I feel about it, maybe a 6, possibly a 7. I like the finish of it, so it's very satiny and skin-like. The finish is. I feel like I did powder it. I think I mentioned that already. But and again, I don't hate it. I can't get too excited about it. There's other foundations that I have, especially some that I've bought pretty recently, that I like a lot more. I will try to remember to link, at least one or two of those videos up above, or maybe my foundation playlist, because I have like a whole list of foundations that I've tried on my mature 52-year-old skin that's got, a few problems. I think that I'm going to give this about a 6 or a 7. Do I want to recommend this? I figure if something doesn't work on normal skin, at least to my satisfaction, I don't know how it's going to look on people that have extremely oily skin or extremely dry skin. I think Tati's skin is combo, so maybe that has something to do with why she likes it so much. I don't know. This is the thing. You can, follow the most influential of influencers and agree with a lot of what they say, but until you try something, especially like a foundation or skincare or cream products, things like that, you really don't know how it's going to sit on your skin, how it's going to react with your skin, how it's going to feel on your skin. And that's the thing that you have to remember. You have to remember that you're buying this for you. I bought this for me, not for Tati. So, I needed to work on my skin. And unfortunately, I don't feel like it was a total hit. I'm going to continue to play with this a little bit and maybe mix it with some other things, because the coverage is not bad. I would say it's a medium to buildable up to a high medium. Personally, I think in order to get full coverage, you would have to put on way more foundation than I personally like to. I'm going to leave it there, though. I think you get the idea that I'm not super excited about this, but I'm not totally disappointed that I gave it a try. All right, I think that is going to do it for this little assessment of the RCMA foundation. If you enjoyed this video while you were watching, please give it a thumbs up. Helps me to know that you're watching and that you like, especially like this, foundation videos. And until my next video, bye guys.